Hey everyone, welcome to This Week in PlayStation, your weekly look at everything new on the PlayStation Network and all the new trophy lists that have been revealed. There's a lot to cover this week, so I'm going to try to get through it as quick as I can, and so we can get through this. There's a lot of games. In fact, it's one of those things when I am looking at games to review, looking at games coming on the horizon. This week was one of those, like, Armageddon-like weeks where, look, in the last week alone, 35 new things are up on the PlayStation Network. Now, granted, this covers PS4, PS3, and Vita, as well as anything like bundles, like we see here with this Tom Clancy bundle. That is included, but it's mostly games. It's a lot of games that came out this week. And then next week, on looking at what's on the upcoming schedule, it's a very lax week. It's not nearly as many games next week. And some of the games that came out this week weren't even on last week's list of games, so I have no idea what's going to all be coming out. Anyway, kicking it off is the Fatal Fury Battle Archives. This is a combination of multiple of the Fatal Fury games. There you go, Fatal Fury Special, and Fatal Fury 2. This was a PS2 compilation that has now made its way over. I guess they updated it a little bit to make it fuller screen, wider screen, and stuff like that. No platinum for those trophy hunters out there, but still, if you like Fatal Fury, this is a decent collection to have for that. They've been doing a lot of the SNK games have been getting their releases onto the PS4. Next up is the first of the games I reviewed this week, as far as that we're seeing here, and that is We Are The Dwarves. This is a combination of kind of like a tactical game, but it's mostly a focus on action, but it doesn't want you to fight all that much. It's kind of a weird thing. It's hard to kind of fully describe it. Basically, you're playing as a team of dwarves. Each dwarf is a little bit different. You have like a stealthy character, a melee heavy character, and then a ranged gunner type character. And you are completing very basic missions for most of the levels and areas, like activate this, find this resource, along with dealing with all these enemies. Health in the game is handled through an orb, so you regen your health at any time you want by going back to the orb. And there's no, like, experience game for defeating enemies, so there really isn't a whole lot of point to fighting enemies. And you instead find, like, different objects and stuff. Like, there's 2 kinds of upgrades that you end up getting. It's an interesting game. It's not the worst, but, like, there's also these really, really bad anti-gravity levels included in the game, which were just a nightmare of nightmares. Next up is Vikings Wolves of Midgard, and no, I was not born there. I was born in 83. No, I wasn't. But anyway, so Wolves of Midgard here from Vikings. This actually got a physical release, I'm pretty sure, as well. Full price release, so that's why I kind of avoided it, because I just wasn't going to be all that interested. And this is obviously like an action top-down action hack and slash is what it kind of looks like. It actually looks similar to what we just saw with, like, We Are The Dwarves from that kind of isometric-esque perspective. It's like 3/4 perspective, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. You can clearly see it. Games like that we've seen a lot of games like this in the past. I don't know how this one ends up stacking up. If you have messed with it, of course, let me know down in the comments. Next up is the Tom Clancy Division Premium Credits Edition. Whatever. I'm surprised people are still playing the Division, so clearly they must have, they've added some good DLC from what I've heard, at least enough to keep some people playing. Next up is another game I reviewed this week, Snake Pass. This is available also on the Switch, so it's getting a lot of buzz because of the Switch version. I'm dealing with backlash because I reviewed the PS4 version, and since I didn't praise the Switch version and I didn't like Zelda, I got a lot of backlash on my Snake Pass review solely because I didn't review the Switch and I didn't like Zelda. I'm not even joking either. That is the darn truth. But anyway, Snake Pass is a 3D platformer, but you're playing as a snake, so you have no ability to jump. The controls take a long time to get used to. The issue was, when I finally got used to the controls, the game was over. Like, as soon as I finally felt like I truly grasped everything, like, of the movement, I could get the snake to do exactly what I wanted to, when I wanted to do it, the game was over. It's only 4 worlds, there's 15 levels in total. There's a lot of collectibles, though, so if you're somebody who gets into collectibles, which I don't, I hate collectibles. I am getting ukulele. I will be playing ukulele through to the end. And I do like the old Banjo, and I like, you know, Mario 64 and stuff like that, but there's a limit on collecting that I can do at any point, because it's like useless collectibles for the sake of collectibles, which is most of what this is in a game like Snake Pass. They just get boring. I don't get why people obsess over them or get into them, but then again, I'm a trophy hunter, and then people don't understand what, you know, trophy hunting is, so I guess tomato to everyone out there. But the best part about Snake Pass, the soundtrack composed by David Wise of, you know, Donkey Kong Country fame. Awesome soundtrack, absolutely awesome soundtrack. I love it, and that's almost worth the price of admission as it is. They're $20 defaultly. It's a little pricey. Next up is Skyforge, and you can see there's a bunch of early adopter things for Skyforge. This is another, I assume, online multiplayer game. Berserk class, 30 days of premium subscription. I'm not getting into this game. Online play required. I have not really heard much about people playing it. Maybe people are. As far as I know, as far as online is concerned, it's pretty much not Overwatch. Then it doesn't matter. That's what I gather at this point, because I don't play online games. I don't have a whole lot of interest. It doesn't look like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but that would be one of those things at that price point. Normally $49.99 for this early adopter version. I guess you can get just the default version for $15, so that's not too bad. But when you're also paying a monthly subscription on top of that, next up is Salt and Sanctuary. This is the Vita version of Salt and Sanctuary. No screenshots here, but basically Salt and Sanctuary is Dark Souls. In fact, it's even a reference to Dark Souls, the name. 2D Dark Souls, and that's what it was made up to be. I ended up playing a bit of it on PS4 when it first came out. I'm not really into the Dark Souls kind of games. Salt and Sanctuary, though, I actually liked better than some of the Dark Souls stuff that I've actually played, but it's not my kind of game at all. But I know a lot of people liked it, and now that it's on Vita, a good choice to put it on the Vita, so that's cool that it's out on there. Real quick, Snake Pass, just go back real quick. Snake Pass does have a platinum. Vikings, Wolves of Midgard does have a platinum. The Dwarves does not have a platinum. I don't know about Skyforge. My guess is it does, because it's being an online multiplayer game, it has probably horrible trophies. Salt and Sanctuary does have a platinum. Next up is the Resident Evil Super Bundle. Super Bundle. You got that as a Super Bundle. Anyway, it has Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil Revelations 2 for $51.99. Normally it's going to be $129.99. So if you've ever wanted any of these games and you don't mind, you know, getting it digital, because all of them have a physical release. Yep, every single one of these games has a physical release version on PS4. Which I actually have all on my shelves. But if you don't mind, you don't care about that, you know, just digital's fine with you. $51.99 is not a bad price at all to get these. They're charging like $20 a piece for the classics. And Revelations 2, I can't remember exactly how much it was for that. I want to say it was like near full price, but not quite full price when it was released. Only thing that stinks is, though, they have this, and Revelations 1 is getting a re-release on PS4, including a physical version for that. And I've heard that Code Veronica is coming over the PS4. I don't know if that's getting a physical, though. So it's like, there's more Resident Evils coming. So, next up is R.B.I. Baseball 17. This is basically... This is what's funny, though. They've made R.B.I. Baseball the last few years. And it's supposed to be that throwback, you know, old style of game, like it was back on the NES or the Genesis, you know, one button pretty much does everything. And I actually didn't think they were doing this. In fact, I just saw that this came out a couple days ago, and I was like, what? They actually did an R.B.I. Baseball 17? I thought they weren't doing one this year. Because there hasn't been, like, any buzz or anything about it at all. But it's a very simplistic game. It just has, like, exhibition and season mode. You're not getting... I think you can mess with the rosters, maybe, but not. I don't even know if you can do that much at all. Not a lot of customization. You know, it's not like The Show. It's not like MLB The Show, which also came out this week. But what's funny is MLB The Show has a retro mode now. MLB The Show has a retro mode. That's just the one button on. I haven't messed with that part of it yet. I've been just playing the Road to the Show mode. But still, that's kind of funny. So, R.B.I. Baseball, I know they're doing a physical release for this as well, but it comes out in a couple weeks, I think. It didn't come out yet, because I couldn't find it, at least on Amazon yet. Because I actually almost considered picking it up and reviewing it. But anyway, so that's R.B.I. Baseball. No platinum. Next up is Rain World. This game kicked my butt. I started playing this Saturday. I played it Saturday night for a little while, and I played it all day, all night Sunday, in order to get the review out. This is a tough game. You play as Slugcat here, and you have to explore. The world is very cruel. There's a lot of enemies and monsters, creatures that want to kill you. Platforming can be difficult at times, like grabbing on the ledges, like grabbing onto things didn't always work the way I wanted it to. It has a cool look to it, but it's kind of we've seen a lot of dark games like this over the last few years. Also, you're given very little of any direction whatsoever. Like, it's a lot of exploration and stuff, so I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to really like it. I thought it was just okay. A little bit better, I mean, better than average, but not, like, mind-blowingly good, but very difficult. It does have a plat, though. Next up is Old Time Hockey. This game tried to replicate old style of hockey, and basically it takes place in the 70s. It's trying to emulate like the movie Slapshot in a lot of ways, especially with its story mode, as there is a story mode where you play as one downtrodden team and you're trying to get them to the championship. It's cool moments and stuff, but the game has technical issues. They have released 2 patches. One patch came out after I reviewed it, so I haven't messed with that, but the patch supposedly fixed some of the issues I was still having. Prior to the patches, though, the game was a buggy mess. Absolute buggy mess with crashing and freezing all the time, and just, it was an absolute joke. The problem with it is, the fighting is bland as heck. The graphics are nothing to write home about. I mean, you can just see, like, as well as the goalie AI, like the AI problems. Like the goalie AI is so dumb. Like basically the goalie will get the puck, and instead of passing it forward to a teammate, like if there's no one around him, or if the opponents are around him, instead of holding it, he just always throws it to the left or right, depending upon what side of the goal he's on. Just every time. And just, like, it got to the point with the AI for the opponents where I would take a shot. If the goalie blocked it, I would just go to that side, pick it up, turn around, boom, goal every time. Just kept doing it, goal every single time. Like, it was just an absolute joke. It has a lot of other problems. If you want to know my full review, I did do one. Speaking of another game I did a full review for is Nightmares from the Deep 2, The Siren's Call. This is another one of the Find a Hidden Object games. And lots of puzzles, point-and-click adventure. This is obviously a sequel to Nightmares from the Deep. You're playing as the same character. This time you're trying to help a merman and a mermaid and stuff going on in it. It's actually pretty good. It has better animations than the first Nightmares from the Deep, so if you played that, there are better animations. I mean, it's nothing amazing. I like these kind of games. So, there's a lot of people out there who don't like these kind of games, but I ended up enjoying them for the most part, and this one's no exception. Still fun and pretty easy platinum, so there's always that. MLB the Show 15, I've been loving it. I'm playing Road to the Show mode. I wish there was, like, is it worth $59.99? Probably not, because the additions they've added so far that I've seen, especially when it comes to Road to the Show mode, which they said they updated a lot, have been very minor, and I'm still running into technical issues. For example, I finished the season with, I'm still in the minors, but I finished the season, we won the championship on the minor league team I was on. We had, the coach came in and was like, congratulating us for winning the championship, and then right after that scene ended, we had a cutscene with the coach again coming in and saying it's okay that we didn't even make the playoffs. Like, we won the championship and we celebrate that, and then like the next second we didn't make the play. Like, it just, there's still minor things like that. AI's decision on what it does with you is still iffy at best, as far as when it pulls you. As I'm playing as a pitcher, but like I have to deal with that. Like when it pulls you, what position in the whole thing you are. There's a lot of minor issues still. It's still a great game. I love it, but it's not like so massively improved that if you, if you bought last year's version at full price, you don't need necessarily to buy this one unless you are into it as much as I am, like where you really like playing a new baseball game each year. Next up is Cornshaq, which is clearly a VR game. We have a VR title here, and I don't know if it's, I guess VR, is it VR required? Yeah, required, VR required. Obviously, a puzzle game? Real-time strategy crossed with tower defense provide retro-style gameplay reminiscent of the late 90s. Looks interesting. Obviously with VR, that I'm not going to be messing with it myself. But it looks interesting. Running at native 120 frames per second. Oh god, frames per second. Next up is Kingdom Hearts 1.5 2.5 Remix. This is the combination of, obviously, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5, finally on the PlayStation 4. I picked this one up as well. I never know if I'm ever going to have a chance to actually play it or not. But this is all what you get. You get Kingdom Hearts, Rechain of Memories, 358.338/2 days, but it's just the cinematics. Thankfully, because that game is terrible. I hate that one. As well as Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep, along with recoded HD cutscenes, just like with 1. So basically, you're getting the best version of Kingdom Hearts 1, the best version of Kingdom Hearts 2, the 3D remake of Chain of Memories, which originally was a Game Boy Advance, and they did it again on PS2 and that version, and then arguably, I think the best Kingdom Hearts game of all of them in Birth by Sleep, which was originally a PSP title, and I was thrilled that got brought over. This isn't to be confused. This does not include 2.8, which was Dream Drop Distance and something else, and now I can't think of it. My brain freezes. But it's not that. That is not included, so you still have to buy that separately as well. Horse Racing 2016. This is another one I reviewed this week. Wow, what a piece of crap. And I did not know it was $12.99. That's even worse. Holy crap, what a piece of crap. Let's read this description, because this game is terrible. Watch my review if you want more things on it, but Horse Racing 2016 is most fabulous and entertaining game for everyone. Is most. If you want to feel real horse racing championship, show your desire and courage to play this game. This game uniqueness makes you play this game for hours. You will love to play this game again and wow! That is like the best / worst description of anything ever. Also, the game took me an hour and 20 minutes, no joke, to beat it at 100%. There's no platinum, but I had 100% of the trophies in an hour and 20 minutes. It's awful. Like the game works for what it's doing. It looks terrible. The racing's not fun. It's basically button mashing at its worst. Oh man. Yeah. Whew, man. Some of the games that get released here. Next up is Heroes of the Monkey Tavern. This is a game that is very reminiscent of the classic dungeon crawler style games from the past, where like you meet up in a tavern or the local town, and then you're going down into the dungeon. This is one I'm working on. Hopefully I'll be able to review it soon. I just started messing with it, so I'm still working on that now. I don't have a full opinion on it, but keep on the lookout for that. No platinum though, unfortunately, but at least only $9.99, $7.99 currently. Phew, like I said, a lot of games, man. I know, phew, we're gonna already. Has Been Heroes is out now. This is kind of a roguelite in some ways, from what I was hearing, with a hack and slash action game. That's getting a little bit of things, mostly because it's also coming out on the Nintendo Switch. So I know that version's getting a little bit of things. So I guess it's turn-based, not hack and slash. I thought it was hack and slash. I guess it's just turn-based. I haven't had a chance to mess with it at all. Yeah, okay, I get that. Rogue-like fashion, die and try again. Choose your heroes while. Okay, so basically choose the heroes, and if you die, it's game over. So I thought it was rogue-like things in it. So the graphics I like. I don't mind the graphics. I like the cartoony style to it. If you've messed with it, if you're one of the people that have messed with it, let me know. Cool that we got Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life Special Edition, the PS2 Classic on the PS4. I'm one of those ones that do like the Harvest Moon games. Wonderful Life is one of the last ones I played a lot of. So I'm glad to see that coming over. $14.99 is not too terrible a price. I'm not sure about the plat, though. Probably get to that on the PSN profile side of things. But it is Harvest Moon, though. So if you're not into that whole Harvest Moon thing, you're not going to enjoy it. But if you are someone who likes Harvest Moon and you've never messed with that one, that's a pretty good one to mess with. Fate Silent Oath. This is a VR game that, I don't know, is it trying to capture a Witcher feel? Like, that's what it kind of looks like. Set in the mythical age of Vikings, Fate the Silent Oath tells a sacrifice and everything, blah, 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 A virtual reality action-adventure game. Strong story-driven narrative. So probably a lot of just story elements. The eyeballs on these characters kind of freaks me out a little bit. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of, like... I guess there is some, action gameplay in there, because I guess he's shooting a rabbit there. Relatively low price, though, so that's the plus on that one. Look, another bundle that features Sun and Moon and 3/4 Home, except at least with this bundle, you're also getting Uncanny Valley and Slain Back from Hell, both games of which I have reviewed. Uncanny Valley, though, I wish was a bit more than what it was, but still a pretty interesting horror game. And then Slain Back from Hell, probably the best of this set. It has a very heavy metal feel to it. It has a bit of a Castlevania look to it. Not as good music. Like, it has like hit or miss music. It's also pretty difficult. It's a difficult game. I didn't give it like a 10 out of 10, and I've gotten some flack on that. Like, I didn't give it as high a score as some people thought it should be. But Slain Back from Hell is still a pretty enjoyable game for what it is. It's just also pretty short in what it is. Anna Zemia is out as well. This is an underwater exploration type thing. It's another game, story-driven, blah, blah, blah. Looked kind of interesting. I was supposed to mess with it, but they never got back to me on this one, and I like Badland games. It looks kind of cool, though. $7.99 is not a bad price. This is one of those games probably average, but looks kind of cool. Next up, Wonder Boy Returns. This I did review. I really loved it. I gave it a high score. It is expensive. There is no platinum, which is disappointing. I think the coolest aspect is you can unlock both the classic Wonder Boy sprite and Tina. I don't know. I love the artwork. Some people are like, I don't like the artwork. I don't know. I liked it. Especially, I like Tina. I think Tina's awesomely done, and I love the bosses. The game includes boss fights. It's basically a remake of the original Wonder Boy, but at the end of the 4th levels of each world, like, you're dealing with a different kind of boss, which I think was one of the highlights for me. I don't know. I really ended up liking it, probably more than I should have. But there's that. Next up is Shred It. This is another game that I was supposed to mess with. It's basically a snowboarding game that's kind of like an endless runner to a degree, where you have to perform tricks and jump through things. Nothing too, like, amazing, but I'm always up for a snowboarding game. I actually kind of do enjoy endless runner games to a degree when they're done well, like, you know. So, I hope I will have an opportunity still to mess with Shred It soon. I didn't even know. I thought it was coming out next week, but apparently it's already out. Next up is The Inner World. This is a point-and-click adventure game, or just, you know, an adventure game with a very cartoon graphic style. Very, very easy platinum from what it looks like. I've been wanting to mess with this one as well. I didn't know this came out already. This is another one of the ones where I was kind of like, hope to have had. I was told I was supposed to, and haven't heard back yet. But still, really, really cool-looking game. I like the art style. Like I said, art style in games a lot of times can get my interest if it looks something a little bit different. And that's the case here. But yeah, if you messed with it, let me know what you think. Next up is Skykeepers. This is a game, one of the 2 games I reviewed yesterday. No plat, unfortunately. It's a fun game. It's a kind of a action platformer with a very heavy emphasis on its combat and combo system. The problem with it is, a lot of the game is you go through a level and then you make it to like an arena setting where you have to fight a lot of the same enemies over and over and over again. Someone's arguing with me that you don't fight the same enemies over and over again. It's like 5 types of enemies per world, and you fight those same 5 enemy types every single arena battle, and there's like 3 to 5 arena battles per level, and then there's a lot of levels per world. I wish there was more worlds. I wish there was more enemy types. The combat is fun. Like, it is decent combat. Because you can combo things. You can knock guys into the air and then kind of dash towards them in midair and do another string of combo and then knock them back to the ground. But it just starts to get repetitive really fast. It's one of those games that you really want to play short burst more than trying to go all in. And even when you make it to the new worlds and there are some new enemies introduced, you're still fighting a lot of the same enemies from the earlier parts of the game. Like, those don't go away. You're still fighting them as well. So, I don't know. It was average for me. Next up is Punch Club. This is a great game. This got a little bit of buzz when it came out on Steam last year. It's now on console. I played this all day, like all night yesterday. I love it. Basically, it's kind of like a monster raising game in a lot of ways, where your goal is to get your stats up, but you don't control your character in the fights. It's all up to them, the stats, the numbers, and all that kind of stuff to decide whether or not you're able to actually win the fight or not. And I don't know, I get addicted very easily to that kind of stuff. I love the classic Monster Rancher games, and while it's not quite like that, it's very similar in some regards to like a Monster Rancher-esque thing. You're just dealing with a 2D retro look to everything. There's a absolute ton of references to stuff, so it's one of those games, if you don't like pop culture references in your games, you're not going to like Punch Club. But I was actually impressed. No plat, though, unfortunately, but great game. I loved it. Next up, Gwent, The Witcher, the card game for Gwent, got its own separate game. They've been in the works with it. The beta for it is out, so that's cool. I may actually check that out myself. APB Reloaded onto the PS4. APB is an online multiplayer game where you play as either, I think you can play as both cops and criminals. So, but this came out a long time ago on PC, before the Battlefield Hardline. Was that what it was? Whatever that one was, the cops and robbers, basically, multiplayer big game. I played it years ago, and I mean years ago, when it first kind of started. It was kind of fun for short bursts, but it was very easy. Like the same things were happening over and over again, but obviously the game's been fleshed out since then. Fleshed out since then. And I don't know. I don't know. I kind of am interested a tiny bit in maybe checking it out again, especially now on PS4, but I don't know if I'll get around to doing so. And guys, last but not least, I saved this one for last for good reason. Holy crap, Deer Simulator. This is another one of those, like, Life of Black Tiger games. Look at this, guys. Like, I wasn't gonna watch many trailers today, but you have to see PSR Outdoors. Come on, let's get to the, come on. Here we go, look at this. It's majestic. It is very majestic. Run away from a wolf. Stand there and look. Walk very awkwardly. It actually does look a little bit better than Life of Black Tiger, though. I do give it credit. It actually looks a bit better than Life of Black Tiger. I don't know if it's better than Life of Black Tiger, but, like, oh man. Like, look at this. Like, this is it, guys. We're not getting better than this. Freaking Deer Simulator. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so that's everything on PSN. I don't want to go. I'm not going to go over every trophy list on the on here. I'll talk about a few of them in particular. Last week we left off kind of like a Drawn to Death, but there's the Fatal Fury Battle Archives, the horse racing, which, like I said, no platinum. It takes an hour and 20 minutes to get the 100%. I guess this is a different region because there's two lists of horse racing on here. This is the one I have. This horse, so no one's bought this game, as no surprise. Z-Hero's got another trophy list. I don't know what region Z-Heroes this one is. Z-Heroes is an action beat-em-up game that's okay at the best, but it's had a weird release. Like, it released on PS4, and then they took it off the PS4, and then I think it got re-released. Kind of weird. Anyway, the trophy list for old-time hockey. This is one of those ones like that I actually considered going for the platinum. I guess the trophies have finally balanced themselves out, but look, here's what's weird. You can see somebody has the platinum. No one has the 100% yet. So there was clearly, they probably fixed it through the patches, but there was clearly some sort of issue, because when the bench brawl in the story mode Silence on Ice, no one has gotten, or what, sorry, 0.1% of people have gotten. But like I said, no one has gotten the platinum, but I know, like, it was even worse before. Like, there was a point a little while ago where the guy who had the platinum had 63% of the trophies or something and had the platinum. So I don't know how that's all working. I guess maybe they're fixed now, everyone can get the trophies, but there had been that issue. Has Been Here, as we talked about earlier, does have a platinum, playing through the game a lot, apparently. 7 times you have to play the game, unlocking all the different character stuff, and fulfill the Grand Soul Orb. Fulfill the Grand Soul Orb 100 times. Looks like an interesting list. Not a lot of people have done much with it yet. Rain World, I will be shocked when people get this platinum, because this is a difficult game. Like I said before, like getting all of these are all the like parts of the story and stuff like that you have to do. It's a very, very challenging game outright. R.B.I. baseball, talked about this. No platinum. Hit 1,000 R.B.I.s. Win 3 9-inning games on hard in season mode. Hit a grand slam. Mercy the CPU doesn't work on easy mode. You can mercy rule because it's classic R.B.I. baseball, so you can mercy rule. Strike out the side versus CPU, allowing no base runners. Pitch a no-hitter with 5 or more pitchers. So use 5 of your pitchers and get a no-hitter. That's interesting. World to the West. I'm not sure about this one. Looks like an interesting list. I'm not sure about this one. Of course, it's really kind of hard to tell from the trophy list because the way that the trophies are listed. It looks like an interesting thing. This is because we looked at a game that just kind of reminds me of this, but like did not look like this art style. So maybe we had watched a thing for it before. I don't know. Anyway, Wonderful Life does have the platinum. I wish I had the time to put into it. I love it. Milking a cow for the first time. Attract a duck to your pond. Construct a building. Construct all buildings. Fill your dog's heart meter. Love your dog. Gotta love your dog. My dog barks a lot. He's barking probably right now. Yep, a little bit. Little barks. Completing, of course, all the chapters as well. No one has gotten the platinum, but I know a few people will. Great game. Bala Latino. What the heck? I obviously this is for I assume the Mexico region. Earn 3 flowers dancing, or 5 flowers dance. I don't know. So is it some like it's dancing? I guess with the camera. I don't know. That looks amazing. I don't know, but that does look amazing. Here's Fate at the Silent Oath. 5 trophies. At least 3 are gold, though. At least 3 are gold. It looks like just completing the story. This is that game with the weird eyes we looked at earlier. For VR. Corix that we talked about earlier as well. Another VR game. No plat on this one. At least it has more trophies, but only 1 gold. Win an online match. Assist another player in co-op. Reach. Man, it looks like it's win a 4-player versus game. That's probably hard because there's no one playing the game. There's 10 owners so far. The Parappa remaster. This is one that I'm playing this week for sure. So if you're interested in how this is going to turn out, I will be reviewing it. I actually already have it pre-ordered on my system. So at midnight on Monday, that's what I'm going to be messing with, is the Parappa remaster. Finish the different songs, work hard, good rating, okay, cool rating on the different songs. So you gotta probably master all the songs, clear all stages on easy, normal, find the secrets in every stage. So I mean, probably a very doable platinum, especially for those who have a history with Parappa. So probably very doable plat there. Eternal Ring. I'm mad this does not have a platinum. Eternal Ring was one of my earliest PS2 titles, because it was one of the earliest. I don't know if it was, I think it was launch. But good old Eternal Ring. We need Evergrace, though. Eternal Ring is okay, but bring me Evergrace onto the PS4. That was like one of my first games. All I remember was early on that game getting a pumpkin stuck on my head. I don't know, Evergrace. But Evergrace and Eternal Ring, me and a friend of mine, these were our early PS2 games. Faerun? Ooh, that looks interesting. That's a Vita game, though it's on Vita, no plat. Collect all the secret items, beat the game without dying, beat the game twice, beat the game within 2 hours, beat the game within 1 hour. Speed runs. 5,000 monsters, defeat 100 rare monsters. I don't know. Is that on PS4 at all? I doubt it. Salt and Sanctuary we talked about before. Does have that plat. Skykeepers, beating all the levels. So very easy, 100% probably for Skykeepers if you're able to complete through the whole game. Nightmares from the Deep. The worst thing about Nightmares from the Deep, though, is you have to do these extra collectibles now. Like find all the morphing parrots, find all the hidden octopi, find all the secret seahorses. But if there is a good guide out there, and there probably is, then it's still a pretty easy plat to get. More has-been heroes, there's Skyforge, talked about earlier. Arrow. Hero, I'm not sure with. There's a plat. Beat the game, beat each of the things on normal. Beat every level on... Oh, and then beat everything on advanced. And then beat everything on master. Earn a certain amount of stars in master mode. Uh-huh. Looks like a pretty straightforward list, but probably a difficult list. Came out February 28th. I guess maybe in another region. I don't think that came out here. Probably would have heard of it or would have messed with it. We Are The Dwarves, though. Here's that list, beating the game and all that stuff. That's one of the lists for We Are The Dwarves. Not the worst list, though. Oh, let me pull that back up. These are the things, though. Kill a certain number of creatures of that type. Kill a certain number of creatures of that type. Hide from 3 enemies and get caught by Sand Hunter 7 times. Very, very easy, 100%. Shyness, the Lightning Kingdom. This is a RPG that's coming out soon. Indie RPG that looks like a classic. Like, I'm excited for this one. I'm hoping to get a chance to play it. It's coming out in a few weeks here in North America. Probably a difficult thing to get knocked out 50 times. Drop down to 1 HP. Damn. Finish the game with no game over. Ooh, that's a rough one. But yeah. This is looks interesting. I'm actually excited to play that one. I hope I'm going to be able to chance to get to. Snake Pass, very easy, straightforward platinum as far as the game is. You have to beat every level out and get all the collectibles. And by doing so, you will pretty much guarantee to have the plat. We've looked at the Inner World before, but here's another list for that. Very easy. It looks like the get. Most people that are doing it already have it. Nine people have 18. 50% of people already have the plat for that version. I know there's multiple lists. Whole lot of Japanese games here. A couple of them are the same, so I'm just going to click on one here. Obviously, this is another Tecmo Koei game. Oop. Translate. Wow, and it doesn't translate everything. Thank you. I'm not sure if this is... Okay, hold on. Thank you, phone, for... WWE, Supercar, whatever the hell that game is. Champions, WWE Champions. But anyway, complete story mode in 3 hours. It looks like the DOA characters, so it is the DOA characters. I didn't know they were in a Dynasty Warriors-esque game. Which one is this one? You guys know it better than I do at this point, which one that has to be. Chaos Child is on PS4. This is another, I assume it's a visual novel. Just looks like a visual novel that also has clearly some fan service-y stuffs. Different endings, get the epilogue, see all the CG and all. I just knew this one came out, was getting a bunch of very easy, getting to very easy lists. Shred It, we talked about earlier as well, just came out, beating the different stages. Try out the new board, complete any row of sticker board, totally fill your sticker board, and complete checkpoint challenge with Parker. Complete checkpoint challenge with all borders. Probably a very easy 100%. Like I said, I love the paper mache, like, and a paper cutout characters. I don't know. They're kind of cute to me. So we have Clap, Kind Love, and Punish. Fun Party, another, I think, visual novel game. Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Star Ocean coming to the PS2. Star Ocean coming to the PlayStation 4. Has a platinum. That's awesome that this is getting a kind of messed up, not messed up, what am I saying? Kind of a redone version. I was going to say messed with, I think is what my brain was trying to say there. But I meant remastered version kind of the game. I don't think it's getting a physical though, which would be cool. But I'm still glad that they're actually bringing this over, getting all the battle trophies though. Probably difficult to get that platinum. It's going to take a little bit to do it for sure, but I'm glad that it is coming. I talked about Punch Club, though. Great game. Loved it. Do a lot of the story modes. A lot of trophies, too. It's all bronze, though. But a lot of trophies, so it's like, come on, you could have potentially done the plat for it. It would have been cool. I would have gone after it, for sure. Beat the game within 100 days. Beat the game within 200 days. Took me more than that to beat it the first time. Winning the championship. But cool game. Like I said, I loved it. Deer Simulator, though. Here you go. Here it is. Survive the first level advancement. Survive to become a mature buck. Survive to become a dominant buck. What is going on in this game? Discover the Pine Forest, Hardwood Forest, Aspenwood Zone, Black Timber Zone. I don't know. I'm one of those idiots that wants to play these games. Anyway, next up is Lego City Undercover. This is the Nintendo Wii U game that wasn't exclusive. Now it's on the PlayStation 4. I think it's also coming out the Switch too, so it's not just PS4, but it's coming to the Switch as well. But of course, we have trophy support here on the PS4. So beat all the chapters of the game, complete all the different missions. Looks like a doable. Listen to 20 different conversations while all you're scanning. Jump from a helicopter into a car. Visit all 10 giant Lego stone statues. Looks like a very doable platinum. Actually, this is one of those ones I may end up checking out myself, because I wanted to play this game when it first came out, but I just couldn't on Wii U. I just ended up skipping out on it, but I may mess with it now. So there you guys go. That is everything for this week in PlayStation. Let me know what you guys think of the show. You like the more fast-paced thing? I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Last week, a lot of people didn't check out last week's episode, but you guys did check out my flash sale video, which that did well. So my goal from here on out is, if a sale is going on, I will do a video of some sort for the sales. When there's flash sales or when there's interesting sales going on, I will do my best to cover them, because clearly there is some people looking for that. It did over 1,000 over the weekend. It was only up for a couple of days, and it did 1,000 views, so that was cool. So thank you all who did check out that. Thank you all who did watch this. I very much appreciate it. Anyway, have a great weekend. Have a great week, guys. I'll be back next week. Yeah, thank you very much for watching.